Alright, we get to start off this video with Joseph's 4th Corps Cavalry attempted comeback, or attempt to resuscitate or regain what they lost after getting hammered by these infantry in square. And I think what it is, these infantry got in a square. Once they dealt a blow and pretty well mauled all the cavalry, they quickly got out of square to fire at them. And now the cavalry are going to take advantage of their bungling and unable to get back into square in time. Now, these boys here all failed their square when these chasseurs approached them. So, all failed their square. Now we got to move these boys here. And I think we're going to do a little bit of movement. I've been checking this out. And when they come to them, they're going to get a chance to square up. I already looked at it in the rules, and each time they get approached, you have to roll for their square. So we're going to start here. We're going to do something like this. Alright, they're starting off with 7. Their unit's been activated twice, which means their fatigue level's up. And instead of 9 movement points, they get a 2 movement point penalty, so they'll only have 7. They get 1 free pivot. Now that pivot there is going to cost them 1 movement point. Alright, now before he heads into here, I guess these Russian units are going to attempt to square. This unit will be the first one. I mean, you can see him coming. He's heading this way. He's facing. We'll attempt to square, and we'll go to the square table. And on this roll, we will get a -2 because we're 2 hexes away, and I think that's it. Nobody's got a leader with them. Nobody's elite or green. So rolling 2 dice with a -2, and they need 8 or more. 8 or more for the Russian roll. -2. Ooh, 10. I think they got it. There you go. 8 or more. So they square up. Oh, that is a big plus. Hold off a second. Alright, they failed in their attempt to square when these boys approach. So now they will square up there. Oh, that changes things a little bit here. Wow. Alright, so we'll do something like this. And this unit here will attempt to square. Same thing. -2 on the die roll. 8 or more is what they're looking for. -2. Die roll. They won't get it, so he doesn't square up. That tells us something. So now, with 1 movement point to square, we will attack this unit here instead. So this unit here was going to go for that unit. They turned into square, so it's going to be 3 units against this. And the thing of it is, if this unit does break or get eliminated, the key to all this is a stand. If these boys start running, there you go. So that'll be that one there. Our next unit will be right here. They'll start off with 6 movement points. 1 free pivot. There you go. Alright, even well drilled cuirassiers take a while to turn around. So there they are. Let's get them a little bit better facing. There you go. 4 movement points left. He can't go here. He'll also have to stop, so he'll have to come in this way. 4 movement points left. Alright, 3 movement points left. This unit here now will attempt to square up. Yeah, so rolling 2 dice. -2. Oh, you see something here. They are elite. +2, so even roll. Even roll, we get a -2. +2 for being elite. So no die roll modifiers. Anything greater than an 8, looking for a high roll if you're a Russian fan. Ooh, if you're a French fan, you love that one. So they don't square. But that's what we wanted to see. We even have 1 strength point left over because it costs 1 extra strength point per hex to move adjacent. 2 if you're a Russian. So there you go. 1 more unit left. Wow. Alright, how am I going to do all this? I'll be right back. Alright, so 6 movement points. -2 because it's their second activation for fatigue. 1 free pivot. That pivot will cost them. And in doing that, both of these units are now going to roll for square. They're going to take a chance. If I was a Russian, I'd say stop right there. We're going to roll for square. So rolling for square is a -2 because we're really close. And they need an 8+. They are not veterans. They're not elite, they're veterans. Which means no die roll modifier. If they didn't have no strike, but they were green, they'd get a negative modifier. But as it is, no modifiers. Except for -2 because we're so close. And it depends on how well they're drilled, how fast they get in the square, if they don't get in the square fast enough. So 8 or more on this die roll. High roll if you're a Russian fan. No. Wow. Alright then. That was for this unit. This unit here is going to attempt it. 8 or more. Again, -2. Oh, wait. That's right. Now, did we roll for him already? Oh, that was maybe for when this boy was coming on in. Alright, well, it's an even roll. He's elite. 2 stripes. That negates the -2 for him being close, so a no modifier. I'm looking for a high roll for a Russian. Oh, he gets it. So, where are we at there? This unit? Alright, it's a square marker. The next unit that is going to... what did I do with my little pointers? Hold on a second. We'll be right back. Mine will be this unit here. Now he's the bleed unit. But the unit underneath him is a toad. Still cumbered or tethered, cumbered. Still being towed. Artillery escapes me. Alright. Hold on a second here. And he is not elite. So he is rolling at 8, looking for an 8 or higher with no modifier. Ooh, misses it. So there you go. He still has 5 movement points left. He will do something like this. Alright, we'll have to stop there. I always have to stop when you get adjacent. As a matter of fact, that cost me 1 more movement point. So now I only have 3. Alright, it'll cost me 2 more movement points to move here. That's what I'm going to do. But right now, I'm not in front of this unit. So when I do this, alright, well, this unit here just rolled for square. And he got it with, oh, he gets a -2 modifier though. Oh, -2, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, he still gets it. So, this unit here, while this boy is approaching, rolled for square, he makes it. So, hold on a second. Alright, so he squares up. Now, this unit here is going to get reaction fired from this unit and this unit. So, rolling 2 dice under the 2 strength points, because that's all they can fire on one side is 2 strength points of fire. So, let me pause here. Alright. Sorry about that. I'm messing all these buttons up. But anyway, he made square. He gets 1 pivot. He's pivoting this way. He will be attacking this unit instead of just square. So they're reeling around when these boys make square. It's kind of cool the way to do it. This unit here now, since he's hit square, will pivot around. They get 1 free pivot. Alright, now, I don't know if I caught all these. Here's the low die rolls. But when this unit here came through here, he rolled and he rolled the fire. They both missed. No defensive fire or opportunity fire, because moving from one spot to another, especially in front. So he survived all the fire, pulled back. He's not going to charge these boys at the square. We learned our lesson there. These boys failed square. We'll go after them. This unit here was going to go after these units at square again. pull back from that square, and these guys failed square. We'll go after them, so there'll be a cavalry charge against this unit. Cavalry charge against this unit. Now we gotta figure out this one. I guess that we'll do 1 against him, 1 against him, 1 against him, and 1 against him. There you go. Now we still have 1, 2, 3 units to fire on these units coming on in because they're coming in their front hacks. So I guess it'd just be this 2 units coming on in here. So we will give them, take a little break here. This will be defensive fire with a -1 modifier because they're coming in their front. And there you go. I don't know about these squares. I don't think these squares do anything yet right now. So we'll let them squeeze off 2 against them. I think we already established that anybody next to them, even though they're not being charged, still can square them off. So all these 4 units here get to square off against these boys. Not against these boys here because they're coming through their rear. They do get a chance to pivot if they wanted to do a pivot, but yeah, we'll take care of all that. We'll be right back. Movements are all locked in. We'll start off with the fire combats. Those little boys here charging the new and improved Russians. I think they are better drilled, better trained this part in this stage of the Napoleonics. So, definitely not your old Russian units. And they'll prove that, I guess, in the invasion when Napoleon gets froggy and invades Russia. So anyway, let's do this first. This will be this unit. Rolling 2 dice, and they can only fire with 2 strength points on one side. So looking for the ultimate high roll. Ooh, they get it. 10 under the 2 marker. Still comes up short though. All right, next will be this unit here, and he can only fire 4 at the max. Let's see what his strength point is. It might be something less. Hold on. All right, yeah, he's 4, so he can only fire out 4 max. Times 2 is 8. So under the 8 strength points. This is defensive fire, so they'll get a +1. That wasn't defensive. Well, I mean it was, but they weren't coming through their front. So +1 on this one. Defensive fire. 9 equals a 10. Under 8, I think that might do something. 10 under 8 is a 1. So effective fire for the charge. And this unit right here turns that unit into 6 strength points. They got the leader with them. Alright, next will be, we'll let these boys here squeeze off their 2 strength points against this. Looking for a, we'll give them a defensive fire modifier, I guess. Hold on a second. Alright, well, we didn't give it to this one, so we're not going to give it to this one. So rolling with 2 with no defensive fire modifier. They're just helping out. Oh, 10. I think we already established it's nothing, but they barely missed on that one. Yep. Modifier would have came in handy. Alright, next. So that was the square fired against this unit. Get our cube off of this one here. See what his strength is. Alright, he's going to reduce to 7, so either or. You can only shoot out 4. Times 2 is 8. So fire it under the 8 column. Defensive fire modifier of +1. Looking for a high die roll. Ooh, that's a 10 under the 8. I think that'll do some damage. 10 under the 8. We got here 10. That's 1. So he suffered 1. Coming over here. Alright, so there you go. We're ready for the cavalry charges. And French are hoping for a couple of retreats and a cascading effect when it comes to units next to them making a stand. So we'll see what's up. A lot going on. We're there. We've done all the procedures. Now it's time for the French. Take a little break here and we'll be back. Carry out the assaults or the cavalry charges. We'll be back. Alright, well then. Joseph and his 4th Corps Cavalry initially came on through here and found out that the Russians are a little bit better at their drills than they were last time they met them, and they got hammered pretty well. This time they're going to be charging from a little bit of a distance and hitting them with more of a impact. Russian units are weakened, and some of them did manage to get in the square, but this time they came up short on their drills in their attempt to form squares. We're going to try to take advantage of that. First things first, though, is we're going to go with a little bit of artillery firing at Russian square that gives us so much trouble. Firing at a short distance, 2-3 hexes. So his 2 strength points will be times 2, which will be 4. So we'll be underneath this 4 column. Modifiers will be artillery firing on a square, so we'll get a +4 on this die roll. Alright, Russian blue die. +4. If you're a Russian fan, you want a high die roll. Let's see, it's an 8, 11. Wow. Alright, under the 4 and 11. So we'll nail 1 on the square. Making it his first step loss. Alright. So a little bit of a better die roll on that one. Alright, we'll commence over here. 8 strength points. Reduced to 7. So 7 strength points versus a 4. That's just a 1-to-1. No modifier. Under cavalry assaulting. Under 1-to-1, we will get no help on that one. Russians get a +1 for knowing the terrain. So from 0 to +1. And that'll take care of it. From the defensive point of view, they are getting charged from the front, so we won't get none of them. So we'll go down to the French units. Not French Grenadiers. They are Cheval Chasseurs. So Chasseurs on a horse. Let's see here. We run a close formation. It's cavalry against infantry not in square, so we'll get a -3. So at a -2, and I believe that'll be it. We're not tired. Not heavy cavalry, no, not going up or down the hill. I don't think, let me see here, nope, we're on flat ground. So that'll be it. We'll be going with a -2, looking for a 7 or less. There we go. Chasseurs et Cheval. Going against the Grenadiers. -2 on this die roll. Looking for a 7 or less to get these boys to bail. Then roll for adjacent units. See if they want to follow. Trying to get that domino effect. Looking for the ultimate low roll. -2. Oh, we got it. Alright, they take a hit loss and they have to go. So hold on. And infantry has to retreat the full movement allowance, so he's got to retreat 4. Alright, that is it. Wow, now we make a stand move on this. It's good to, as a French, you're definitely looking for this cascading effect. So on this stand roll, we're looking for a -6. Alright, the lead unit loses 1 strength point and a stack retreats. Wow. Alright, modifiers are as follows. The unit name it, adjacent retreats, okay, hold on. I guess this is for the unit that's making the stand. Russian. So we get a -1 or +1. Alright. Adjacent or same unit was eliminated. It wasn't eliminated, but he retreats, so we're back to 0 with this -1. Alright, none of these other ones apply. For obstructed unit is a square formation. No, they are not. Infantry artillery. You zoom in on that. Infantry artillery and now within 3 hexes of an enemy cavalry. They are. So you get the big -2. There is no leader present. So another -2. And roll up with a -2 total. Alright, so here we are. His buddy's bailed. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's rolling with a -2. And anything with a 6 or less, and he's gone too. French looking for a low roll -2. Oh, that's not going to do it. 5, 6, 7. So they stay. They make the stand. Take a break. Alright. Bad die roll. Oh, they made the stand. That was key. We were hoping for them to flee. Like I said, I'm not going to advance because there's artillery there. We don't wish to give them a big die roll modifier being adjacent, blowing us to smithereens. So we'll stay put there facing them. Our next charge be this unit to this unit. Let's see what their actual strengths are. There you go. Also, this unit here was facing this way, but he gets 1 pivot, so to negate the flank modifier, he'll definitely pivot and face his attacker. There you go. Now we'll look for our modifiers. I think we're going to start off with a plus. The only one he gets is a +1 for being home field advantage Russian. +1 now for the French modifiers. Alright. We'll look at this one here. Is cavalry against infantry. Not in a square formation. So we'll get a -3. I think that -2 then will stick. Let's see if it has any more changes. Alright, -2 it is. Didn't get no flank or rear modifier, so looking for a 7 or less again. -2. Getting the French die. -2. This unit versus this unit. Looking for a cascading effect too. There's 2 units next to him, so looking for the ultimate low roll. -2. Oh, we get it. Wow. Well, let's see if we can turn this one, make this one a little bit better. So that'll turn it to yes, retreat. There's going to be no fire, so I guess we'll do it this way. There you go. We will roll for, I believe it'll be this unit and this unit. Understand. Make sure we got everything right. We'll be right back. Alright, when you assault or charge a hex, you're trying to get into that hex. So we'll move him up to there. Take a pivot. It is what it is. And we'll move him into here. So we actually took those spaces. Now we roll for these 2 understand table. Wow. How the pendulum can swing. But he's still pretty strong through here. These are lethal units, so just being able to clean them out a little bit and trying to make ready for these, what do we say those were? Chasseurs? Chasseurs. Oh, what are those armored plates? Cuirassiers. Cuirassiers, yeah. Their chest plates are called cuirassiers. As a matter of fact, there's a little interesting tidbit. If there was a chest plate from a cuirassier, French cuirassier, from the Battle of Waterloo, and I guess he was charging a cannon, but I'm telling you, the side of his chest plate here had a big old hole through it. I mean, it was a hole and a half. You look at it and your jaw dropped like, oh my God. So yeah, that cannonball went right through that right there. I mean, it wasn't a hole. It kind of hit the side. It was the whole side of that was blown out. Just the side of it. You're like, oh, it just gives you a little idea how crazy that was. All right, we'll be back here in a second. Critical stand checks. Key to this battle. I already had 2 units turn tail and run. This first one will be a square. Held modifiers as follows. +1 for being Russian, -1 for being next to a unit that retreated. If he would have been in the same hex as a unit eliminated, that would have been more, but that don't count, so. Not an obstructed terrain. He is in a square formation, though, so it'll be a +2. But he is within 3 hexes of cavalry. That's a -2, so all in all, looking for modified die roll less than 6, and it's not going to be modified. So the Russian units, or Russians, be rolling, looking for a low roll and no modifier. High roll if you're a French fan, low roll if you're a Russian fan. Ooh, 7, so he stays. He does not leave. Modified roll smaller than 6 to leave. So yeah, he holds tight. Alright, so far the squares are definitely held tight. So this next one will be another retreat roll because he was next to him. But he's an elite unit. You can see the 2 stripes, so we'll get some modifiers as follows. +1 for being Russian. -1 for being adjacent to somebody that bailed, so it's even. He is an elite unit, so we got a +2 going on here. Let's see here. Let me start over on this one. Yeah, we got it squared up. He'll get +3 right off the bat. Number 1, 2 for being elite. Another 1 for being Russian, so that's +3. -1, +2. Ooh, not in a square formation. And then -2 for being, so it's a 0. So rolling with the 0, looking for a low roll if you're a French fan. Alright. Looking for a low roll or a high roll if you're a Russian fan. Oh, no way. So he bails. The ultimate bail roll, no doubt. Alright, well, he was going to be attacked, so we got to find out how this happens. But yeah, squares have held this unit here. This unit bailed. This unit ran, ended up here. He held because they're in square, and this guy didn't have the morale. And I guess the safety of being in a square, and he's getting the heck out of there, so he'll take a 1-hit loss. No, I'm going to regroup there. I guess 4 hexes away. Right, he doesn't advance, but I'm ready to believe his correct facing was like that. Like I said, things get hit around left and right. It's definitely a dance. Alright, so the square's held. This unit here is the next one being assaulted. And now that this unit here that was going to assault this one doesn't have nobody to assault. Alright, so it could be a definite positive cube activation for Joseph. He's about to get demoted. I don't know if you can blame him, throw him in a no-win situation, but we had the role of the lieutenants, and they're the ones that gave us the plan. The plan went down in flames, and lesson was learned about the perils of charging squares. Don't do it if you're cavalry. Be right back. The attack's getting even better for the French. Here you go. We have 22 cavalry strength points versus 7. That really translates into real terms is there's 50 cavalrymen each strength point, so it just boils down to 1,100 men are surrounding 700 infantry. Alright, so that translates into 3-to-1 attack. That'll be a -3 initial on a tally stick. Russians get their obligatory 1. I believe there's a -2. 3, 4, 5, yeah. They are being charged for more than 1 hex. So there you go, -1. That's a -3 mark. Will it charge through the flank? No. You can see that right here, not being charged from this hex or that hex, but we are getting charged from the rear. That'll incur a -3 penalty. And that'll do it for the Russian or assaulting charging units. Okay. Oh, they have a leader present? That we do. His rating. Oh, this is the defending unit. Okay. Wrong one. Hold on. Yeah, get out of zoom feature. Alright, I was right the first time, so that's it. No leader present. Everything else is good. Now we'll go down to the French modifiers. Ooh, did we lose? I think we did lose. We'll give them a +1. That's a -5. Let me look at that because I believe that is per strength point loss. I gotta remember who lost what. Yeah, we'll give them a -1 because I don't think anybody lost all that much, but they did lose at least one. So at -5, and then the killer is cavalry against infantry, not square formation. You get another -3. Could be a really good day on this attack. Right, last but not least, we'll get that leader present with Joseph. Loving this attack. So it's another -1. A tally stick never hath been so high. -9. So there you go. On this roll, we get our stick over here. So I got the bad camera work. -9 on this roll. It's a French roll. We'll prefer a 7 or less to get these guys to bail. Then there'll be a cascading effect. We'll roll for that square, and I think there might be 2 units underneath there we'll have to look for. So this is a gimme. Yeah, 0. So he loses a strength point. And he's got a scoot. They run and they run. Oh, where's my pointer? Now, usually they have to run the gauntlet and take a strength point loss for every unit they came adjacent to, but they don't have their own guns really, so we'll look that rule up. But other than that, they are there. I guess I could have been facing. Yeah, that way's fine. But more importantly, one of our units gets to advance into that hex. Like so. I believe we'll change our facing also. And that'll be the look of it when we're done. Wow. Alright, we will check this for the very important stand for this unit. And we'll call it a video. That'll be quite the little battle there. Definitely redemption for Joseph. So it's not over till it's over in these battles. That was his second activation. Don't think they'll be doing much more, but you never know. We could push them just to get them in a better position, because now it's these boys' turn. They can get some payback now. So yeah, we're all in goofy ass, looking at their ass. We're looking at our asses looking at them. So you never know. We'll be back. All right. Well, I just checked the rules, and be it cavalry or infantry, anytime you retreat past a enemy unit adjacent to them, you have to knock off a strength point. So therefore, there you go. Taking some hits. And that's what happens when a plan comes through. Now we still have to check this boy here for a stand, but other than that, yeah, wow. Alright, we still have our cuirassiers, heavy cavalry to bring on. So that could be a good little prelude, a nice little softening up of a position. But as we said, the squares did hang on. We'll see if this one can hold his morale. Stay put, or if he turns chicken shit. We'll be back. Alright, rolling for this unit to make a stand. And looking for the modifiers as follow. +1 for being Russian, but -1 for being adjacent to the same hex as a unit retreats, or at 0. In a square formation, +2. That always helps. Everyone has definitely found the plus morale factor in being in that little formation. Okay. So we have a +2 within 3 hexes, -2. So I think we are at a no modified die roll less than 6, and they bail. Russian die less than 6. are gone. I'm hoping for a low roll because I want to plan to come through. So I'm on the French side here, looking for a low roll, no die roll modifier. Ooh, they stay, solidly stay. So every square has stayed. Ooh, it could be a little bit of a cog in our works, but did come up with some good results. I'd say all in all, it was an even result. We'll call this a video when we come back. It'll be the next cube draw because I believe that is it. All these units here, though, get to get flipped over to their tired side. So let me go about flipping all these cavalry to their tired side. We'll be right back. All right, cavalry all flipped over to their tired side. Plus, that was their second activation. Next activation, they'll be just crawling if you want to activate them again. But we have found in this game that pushing the issue, as we call it, definitely helps. So that'll be it. We'll call that a turn. Having a great time. A lot going on the French right flank. Russian left. Now it's probably going to be another French cube pull, because I think the Russians only got maybe 6 total, and they have 8, I think. I'm not sure, but they definitely have more of a cube advantage by 1 or 2 the French do. So there you go. Reinforcements to come on. Yeah, a little bit of payback. So we'll call this video done.